Hello, gamers, ladies and gentlemen, nailers and pluggers, freaks and worms. Long time no see. Um, FocusLunch here, commissioner of the Pokemon Commuter Lounge League and newly established Ballstown Advance League, seasons 1 and 2, which we just started a few weeks ago. Sorry for slacking on the content. Everybody is dying, but we're here now, and that's what matters. So I'm going to give you guys a week one recap of what went down. Um, so the Ballstown Advance League um, is a copy, essentially, of the Emerald Open, which is an ADV draft league um, run by some Smogon people. I don't know who, but it's pretty gas. It's pretty cool. Here's the tier list. All right, any format where Snorlax is top tier is kind of cool. Shout out to GSCOU. Um, and we have 80 points, 90 points. My bad to pick 8 Pokemon, and then we go ham and fight each other. And I am with it. Um, we got a lot of great gamers. A lot of returnees. No new people, no new heads, only old head Pokemon Commuter Lounge League folks keeping it in the family, which is what they do in Oklahoma, which is where some of these girls are from. All right, so we're starting with Ninkata, aka When They Cry, because that's what cicadas do, and Max Propaganda, aka Claude. Let's get into it. Smagirna, what kind of okay? Um, Claude and Ninkata. First of all, who first picks Blaziken? I just want to get it out the way. That was crazy. I was like, thank God. I was 8th pick, and Metagross was up. So they really threw. Everybody else in the Lunatone division letting me get Metagross. Just want to put that out there. Um, but maybe cool Fire, Water, Grass, Core, and Blaziken Melodic Celebi. Claude has a really smart top 2 in Snorlax Gengar. Bit of a thrown together second half, but there's not that many Pokemon. Gen 3, you really gotta. We are really digging deep here. Um, so I would imagine, um, when you only have 8 Pokemon, you kind of know what's coming. Usually one of the lower picks isn't going to have a great matchup into some of the top guys, so there might be a flex pick, but we generally know what our opponents are going to bring here. Um, Hello Mario comes in to take the EQ. Chubbeth in the Snorlax. I believe that's a shiny Snorlax comes in. Does that muck look like a Grimer to y'all? Doesn't it not look like a muck? Focus Punch on the muck, only doing 49% to a +1 defense Snorlax. This muck is going to have a hard time breaking this thing, because it's probably going to die to an EQ now. And obviously it can't sub up again. I don't know why he would try to sub up again. Claude going for the normal type move, reading the ground immune Pokemon or Celebi to come in. And that is Muck going down. Well, Snorlax often runs immunity over Thick Fat in this generation, so I could understand why Toxic wasn't clicked. But if I had, I would have put Explosion on Muck. That's like one of the only ways you're gonna break through Snorlax, and that would have been a great trade. Smeargle comes in, has the capacity to click Spore here, does indeed. Claude being very smart and switching out the healthy-ish Snorlax for the a little less useful Houndoom. Spikes being set up here, 2 layers of spikes. The same switch into the Milotic, the bulky Pokemon, into the Flygon. And here we have Mirror B's ace himself, Ludicolo. Great sub, because Milotic doesn't have anything that's going to break a sub here. I would have to imagine this thing is SPDEF invested with only doing 16, because Milotic's not that weak. With Muck dead, I don't know how Nincada's going to be able to break through this little duck, platypus, kiwi, pineapple dancing man here. I don't know if it is possible, folks. Sableye. Sableye kind of sucks. Like, as a Pokemon. Like, I don't have a lot of faith in this thing. I don't know if Nincada does either. But no Toxic, no Will-O-Wisp, no nothing so far. Just doing a little bit of chip damage with Seismic Toss. Tauros comes in safely. Does this thing read? It does. What a smart Nincada, big brain gamer. I know Nincada has his 3DS in his hand at all times, playing Brain Age 2 for like $4.99 from GameStop, and has a brain age of 6 because he is just so ready to learn. What a great hidden power ghost on the Switch, knowing Gengar would come in. Smagearna, the Smeargle comes in. My Brain Worm, very funny. Will-O-Wisp. Nincada's actually making some really great reads here. Unfortunately, the team is a chop. But the plays are great. This is some really fantastic low-tier action on display. Is that... Wait, hold on a second. Steelix Earthquake did 35. Just doesn't Smeargle have like 2 BST? What the hell? Oh, it was burned. I'm stupid. My bad. Endeavor. Okay. Gengar came in. Will-O-Wisp on the Hello Mario Melodic. This thing is known for having Marvel Scale. It will now be a better Fizzwall into Flygon. Again comes in Ludicolo, which can't do a single thing. Having Roar or Whirlwind on the side of Nincada would be so instrumental here in racking up some Spikes chip. I think Tauros can learn Roar. Excuse me, folks. Stuffy nose today. Yeah, this Ludicolo is full. Down goes Smagearna. Tauros comes in. Don't think this one's 1v1. My Brainworm, the Steelix, comes out. That did nothing. Oh my god, my Milotic is fat. I know the Steelix was burned, but still, 500 effective BST. It's looking pretty bleak for Nincada right now. I think this Ludicolo is really... was underprepared for. And I don't know why so many low-value Pokemon were brought into this game. Does anybody else think this Tauros sprite, this Tauros back sprite, is really ugly? Looks like a camel. He needs to see... I don't believe in chiropractors, but if anybody needed one, it's Tauros right there. Leech Seed again. This might go for a little. Let's maybe speed this up a little bit. Let's speed this up a little bit. Okay. Now we just need like 17 more crits, and then maybe we have something. I don't think it's gonna happen though, folks. I think this Ludicolo is going to Shimon on its haters ferociously. And the burn's going to take the Milotic out. In comes Blaziken, Boxy Andrews. Because of that one meme from RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 9, where Roxy Andrews held up the ruby snippers and looked like Blaziken. Alright. I was right. Ludicolo went Brazy. Ninkata was taken out. Claude up 5-0 for the first week. A great place to be. We're going to go through all of the Lunatone division replays, and then we're going to go to the Soul Rock replays afterwards, and look at the score sheet, and then yeah. But first, really quick, question of the day: what Pokemon from the ADV OU metagame should be a playable racer in Mario Kart World? That's what I want to know. Do you want to see Smeargle in a Bitty Buggy? Do you want to see Gengar in a Cloud Top Cruiser? Let me know in the comments below, please. Thank you. Hit that like button and subscribe. We are moving on to myself, King Focus Punch, versus my dear sister, Slay Peach. This was heartbreaking week 1 matchup. We have gotten so close streaming Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood together at 6 in the morning on Discord calls. But sometimes you just gotta take family out. You just gotta get a frying pan. Go see your sister making a tuna melt in the kitchen. Hit her upside the head. Call the police like a strange man who came in your home. You know, sometimes you just gotta do it. All right, let's get into it. That was crazy. We are going to turn the sound off. So I lead Jolteon. I see the Dusclops. I know that I'm not gonna take too much from a Shadow Ball. And she actually does not have an electric resist on her whole draft. So I was just gonna click Thunderbolt. Crit was huge. Honestly, this Registeel, I over prepared for it so much. So getting insane damage on it off the bat was really, really nice to have. I don't want to die to a Boom. Don't want to get Thunder Waved because Jolteon, like I said, does so much into a team without an electric resist. So I go into something a little bit more expendable and more equipped to handle Registeel. I had an assumption that Moltres on Slay's side was going to come out into the Earthquake turn and then hit me with a Will-O-Wisp, so I made a hard read and Rock Slided. I assumed, a big mistake, the Dusclops here was going to go for a Will-O-Wisp, so I went into my Guts user Hariyama, but instead the Confuse Ray came out, which was crazy. I don't know who on God's green earth is rocking with Confuse Ray in the year of our Lord 2025, but it kind of paid out for her here. It is Gen 3. Hacks odds are just greater. Raven Baxter, the Alakazam, comes out, notably very physically frail, threatened with an Earthquake. The Dusclops wall comes in. We have to pivot around quite a bit. Kind of knowing, I'm pretty sure I had refresh on this Claydol and I was scouting it a little bit, the Will-O-Wisp. Because it'd be weird to have like Confuse Ray and Will-O-Wisp. She does indeed have it later in the game. But my brain is fried. I had something else to say there. We're gonna get back into it, folks. I'm going to do enough chip to this so that Thunderbolt always kills. And I want to see its moveset a little bit. I don't want some of my other Pokemon are more important here. Hariyama is crucial into taking on the Blissey in the back as well as the Registeel. And is one of the few Pokemon that can really nail Dusclops down with a hidden power ghost after it's been burned. So I don't want to get explosioned on most of my Pokemon. And Claydol is like one of the like, okay, sure, like you can explosion on me a little bit. I deny the layer of Spike with Rapid Spin. Do I let this thing go? No, I go into Jolteon because Claydol's at 10 HP. You're definitely not going to want to boom on that. That's like just like not a lot of value. Bald Cheetah Bitch the Blissey because I shaved my head and have cheetah print hair. She's trying to read me. She is being nasty and shady. I Baton Pass, get out of there. Into Fist Pump Trade the Metagross. I threaten a Choice Banded Meteor Mash here. I'm pretty sure if I got the attack boost, I would have done it again, but I did not. I go into my second Thunder Wave into the Claydol of the game and kill Redoer and Scrubs with an Earthquake. I don't know if it did this much without a crit. I think I got insanely lucky this game, and I feel a little bad for it. For a Pokemon that is just so fat. It might have killed anyway. I don't think it mattered too much in the long term of the game. The Thunderbolt definitely mattered more. But yeah. Tres Encanto. The Moltres comes in, picks off my poor Claydol with a flamethrower. Jolteon easily pivots in on that, threatens it with a super effective thing. I try to fish for a little bit of hacks here. Now, I know she's seismic tossing while I'm substituting, and she wants to deny me getting a substitute. So I believe we kind of... I make a false read, and she makes a correct read here. And I go for the Wish. She goes for the Thunder Wave. This Thunder Wave really doesn't... a lot of damage to making my Jolteon more effective. Getting all the HP I can on Hariyama is pretty nice. Confuse Ray. I think I break through it here. Really nice Pain Split into Venusaur, but I threaten with the Sleep Header. I'm pretty sure I don't do it again. Okay. This is a scary situation, but I'm pretty sure I always outspeed. I sack the Paralyzed Jolteon on the boom so that my more my less neutered Pokemon can do what they gotta do. Hidden Power Ghost into big mistake. She hits me with the Will-O-Wisp, which is great for me because I can now kill it with my Guts boosted attack. I thought I was going to live that with like 2. Did not. I knew she was going to switch because she didn't want to get hit by a Shadow Ball and die, so I went for the mid-ground play of Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb very effective into Blissey because of the poison chance as well as it being a physical move before the physical special split. I read the Moltres switch in, hit it real quick with the Sleep Patter. Very lucky I didn't get full parried there. Blissey's HP stat being so big means that as long as I have a Leech Seed on it, whatever Pokemon I have on the field is gonna have a lot more leeway. We'll play this little game for a little while. Switches back out into Moltres. Pretty sure I go for a little bit of chip damage. She goes for Flamethrower. I know I live because I have a lot of HP. I'm pretty sure I calc it. Leech Seed here. I think the smartest move is to go into Zam. My physical Sludge Bomb does a ton, and I cannot risk anything. If there was a Fire Punch read on the switch, there I had to sack Venusaur because, yeah, it was rough. I just needed to gain momentum back. But we got her. We got her. Here I go into Metagross, thankfully, on the Thunder Wave, because a Thunder Waved Crobat could have been very scary, because its strength is that it outspeeds everything. If I Meteor Mashed into Moltres, it could have been a big momentum sink for me, and she could have made a comeback with good luck on Thunder Waves into healing moves, and I knew I needed the Moltres gone, so I made the Rock Slide read on the switch. And Blissey comes in, and I'm Choice Banded, so I go Crobat, who's also Choice Banded. So I go Metagross, and I boom. And that is that game. Funny how Showdown switches your icon once you leave the once you exit the lobby. That amuses me. Alright, next in the Lunatone division still we have You Cheddar Work, our dear sister Cheese, versus Big Liquid, aka LCD Sound System, Lowest Circumference, Dicknard's Magila. Okay. These are switches back to back to back. Pikachu lead. Okay, they'd be switching. Finally, somebody clicks a move. Spikes into Starmie. Starmie. Swampert out trading here. Predicted to switch into Mence, that did not happen. Cheese getting Lefty's chip with Protect. People are making strange reads. Glalie comes in. Pikachu comes in, probably because it's the most expendable member and you don't want to get boomed on. Uses Volt Tackle, does an insane amount of damage, gets Ice Beamed, and dies. Pikachu, no! Swampert in. On the Protect, on the Explosion, LCD read like a book. Haunter here with the very cool spray. I love those glowy hands, like Sabrina from Pokemon Red and Blue. The Blueberry Cow comes in. That was a really tragic Will-O-Wisp miss, and a Thunder Wave to the very speedy Haunter is annoying. Miltank doing Persistent Chip to Starmie, has to switch out eventually because it is poisoned. The mistake was made that Starmie was not given the ability Natural Cure, instead has Illuminate, which does nothing. Haunter comes out, tries to hit Skarmorymph with the Thunderbolt. Very smart predicted switch there. Burn would heavily cripple Swampert or Miltank coming in. So that was smart. Thunder Wave onto the Mence is a great call. Mence is such a threat. And being able to paralyze it is huge. Counter on the Mence is a fantastic way to do 82% of its health. Doesn't matter if Miltank is burned if its damage doesn't come from its own attack stat. This Miltank is going to heal back up. I have a feeling like it's going to hit counter again, or Thunderwave. That works too. This is really... Cheese is in the driver's seat, paralyzing everything on LCD's side and not a cleric in sight. Keeping this thing healthy. Explosion onto the Skarmory. That was a really bad trade. She's getting so much leftovers recovery from these protects between the Swampert and the Skarmory. Miltomb for the Miltank comes out. It's already burned, not threat of paralysis. And goes down to the Surf. A bit of a weird... obviously, like, Swampert is there still, so I don't know why you wouldn't just go Pert and Protect and Earthquake and Chip Heal and stuff. But alas, this thing has a free opportunity to Ice Beam. I probably would have got really ballsy and hit Earthquake on the protected Starmie switch, but what's that thing going to do? It's a 42, and it's poisoned and there's spikes in the field. Body slam from Kangaskhan. That seems like child abuse. You slam your body on somebody when you have your Roo in your pouch. I don't think that's how you get like fetal alcohol syndrome or shaken baby syndrome or something. Swamp full para. Toxic onto the Kangaskhan. It is now on a timer. I don't know how LCD is going to get away from this one. This Axolotl is really doing the most. Ice Beam possibly on the predicted Aerodactyl switch or something. I would have just Earthquaked because it stabbed does the most damage. Swampert has a 110 attack. Skarmory here. I think Cheese could be playing this a little more optimally, but with the cards that have been dealt as of so far, it's really hard to come back from a situation like this. I don't think Cheese has to play perfect to nab this dub here. Starmie comes in. Can it do anything? Can it get a triple crit? Can it Gigantamax into Starmie Starnamax form and hit through substitute with Gigamax Hydro Cannon Splash Destroyer? I don't think so. And here it is a wrap. The GG's already called. The poison damage should do the job, and it is down. Cheese is now +4. Sweet. Into my good sister Nigeria versus our friend from our sister league, the Pokemon Fun League, our friend Bickmouth. Cool gamer, haven't talked to him much, but love all Pokemon fans. Well, not some of y'all. Some of y'all are weird, but a lot of y'all are chill. Alright? A lot of y'all are chill. You're on thin ice. We lead with Venison the Stantler versus Carisi the Omastar here. Thunderwave turn 1. A lot of Thunderwave this week. If I'm learning anything about the ADV format that I didn't already know, it's that spam Thunderwave. Like, seriously. Like, it is broken. Crunchy Cheetos comes out on the Hydro Pump. That is a rough amount of chip to get early. Meganium is a great switch into Raikou. Nigeria has to switch knowing this thing has the potential to run Earthquake. Great switch into Gyarados. to prevent that earthquake. Thunderwave on the Gyarados. Side Salad, a specially bulky Gardevoir comes out. Ice Punch, great coverage for the Meganium and the Zapdos. Some switching takes place here. This thing is immune to Shadow Ball and Nightshade. Nightshade is interesting. Nigeria does have 2 Intimidate users, so maybe it makes more sense to run Nightshade over Shadow Ball, but if you have a Ghost type with a higher physical attack stat than a special attack stat, it just feels so good running Shadow Ball on that Pokemon in a pre-Gen 4 world, because those Pokemon do not have great stab moves nowadays. Brick Break on the Hitmontop takes our poor Venison, the Stantler, out. Was not an NFE back then. Was just tragic for no reason. Chicken Parm the Breloom. She does indeed look a little bit like Chicken Parm. Repping our brother in Christ, Luigi Mangione. Hidden Power Rock. Doing great ship. Dragon Dance on the... This is looking rough, folks. The Chestoberry. Not even a Lumberry. Not even a Chestoberry. It said, I know you were going to put me to sleep. Bick knowing how strong that Dragonite is, keeping it in the back. The Rock Slide crit taking out Gardevoir is tragic. Dugtrio being so weak and frail cannot 1v1 this Hitmontop. Has to... Cannot do much here. Oh, no. Another crit. This is the luckiest Hitmontop alive. This Hitmontop is holding us, what's that item? A scope lens? Something. This is rough because Nigeria does not have enough HP to fish for a full para and sub until this turn now. Does not get a crit or anything on the... Was the play to possibly Thunderbolt fish for a full para and then an a Hidden Power Ice crit? Maybe. It was pretty dire. It was possible. There's a world, you know, if this game was played a million times by a bunch of different monkeys playing Pokemon Showdown at a computer lab in a high school. There is some games where Nigeria could have won in that exact endgame situation, because Raikou is that strong, but Meganium, a really great call here, and it was not in Nigeria's cards today. GG's to Bick. With that over, we move on to the Solrock division. The way both the Emerald Open and the Ballstown Advance League Season 2 are going to work is that each division has its own like draft board, obviously with like the same pricing and all of that, but you know, if I pick you know, Hagurumon Dicknuts on my team, you know, for a half a point, then so can Jack on the other side. If I can get Snorlax, so can Gil on the other side. Just not people within your own division, because there's not enough Pokemon to go around. So these leads look like Fortress, a pretty standard Spikes lead versus a Gengar. Gengar could have the fire coverage. Gardevoir goes into another Gardevoir game, slightly especially defensive guy. Gardevoirs are getting crits today. There's so many crits today. Was it a full moon? Were they using strong style in Pokemon Legends Arceus? Why is everything getting crit? The Psychic is threatened, so Viv has to switch here. D-Hazy is our friend Viv. Calm Mind battles happening. Um, I'm a little confused as to, oh, the rest. Okay, okay, okay. It's faster. This makes more sense. Um, with the Calm Mind Greed. Gardevoir showing it had sub this whole time. Um, yeah, Calm Mind up, brother. Calm Mind again. Yeah. They're doing about the same amount of damage to each other. Entei has the damage lead right now, so I'd keep clicking. Um, yeah, Arcanine comes in. This isn't necessarily faster. Um, and Entei has pretty good physical bulk, so I'm kind of surprised that Gil would think that that extreme speed killed right there. I don't know if he was desperate and didn't have any better options. Um, he had slacking the whole time. Why did you go slacking? This thing doesn't have protect. You switch out. Earthquake into the Gengar. Not great calls here, because I feel like if slacking is choice banded, which I don't know if it is, it basically always should be, I feel. Um, you probably killed like a 20% Entei with the Shadow Ball, no? And then Gengar can't come in for free? I don't know. Alright. Arcanine versus Skarmory, and Arcanine's switches. Okay, a lot of calls being made here. Spikes happening. I think you should boom. I don't think you should. Maybe it doesn't have boom. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have boom. But like, should have, cause you gotta kill this Entei, brother. Zapdos comes in, hits a T-Bolt. This Entei keeps calm minding. Can anybody stop this Entei? It is so fast. Roar. Why did Roar Zapdos not come out 20 turns ago? Maybe we'll never know. Or Leech Seed. I don't know. Gengar coming in. Sceptile hitting a tricky little substitute to get a free Leech Seed off. Who is he going to try to heal with that Leech Seed? A Zapdos potentially. Fire Punch doesn't burn. Zapdos is healing. The Gengar explodes. Zapdos lives on 2. That Leech Seed was crucial. Possibly some crucial bulk investment to live there. Zapdos, of course, slower than Jolteon. Has to switch out. Arcanine comes in. Pretty bulky Arcanine, question mark? I have no idea. Fire Blast into Extreme Speed? Does that kill? Yeah. I thought that was pretty obvious. I feel like I would have went into this thing. Yeah, or Entei. Or made the play of like going Skarm on the E-Speed and then Entei on the Fire Blast. Donphan, the Don. Zapdos threatens with a hidden power. No switches again. I hope this is hidden power grass and not ice. But Zapdos is very important. Hidden power grass probably wouldn't kill from full. So this is really rough. This is why slacking is not an OU staple. I would Leech Seed here. I would go something on the possible Tropic, yeah. And this is where you go Zap. Nope. Return. Okay. Interesting. And this is where you go HP, Grass. Viv staying very strong, clicking Toxic, Balls of Steel. maybe Thunderbolt was a better click, but Gil finally making the play I would have made and it didn't work out, so who am I to judge? This Skarmory doing a whole lot of work here. Drill Peck? No, Protect. That's smart, 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 smart. Drill Peck. Oh, so many full pairs on the Sceptile. This is like, this is sad. It's just sad. It's like watching Ash versus Tobias and all his cool starter Pokemon getting killed. Thunderbolt take out this. I would have saved my differential and gone into something that doesn't die, and then let the Toxic take down the Zap. But it's fine either way. It's only a +2 instead of a +3, but I think Viv prepped very well for this game here. And Gil, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say it at all. I do like the Gardevoir, though. I think the specially defensive Psychic type was very strong here into the Gengar. And he Hidden Power Grass Zapdos, you can't go wrong with that guy. But Explosion on Fortress would have gone such a long way. Up next we have Middle Eastern T-Tar, my friend, my co-commissioner, co-lead, co-inventor of the Ballstown Advance League, Jack. One of the greatest, most awesomest, most swag guys I know. He wears sunglasses indoors, could you believe it? And Sheej, who's also wonderful and a part of my life, and a co-commissioner of the PCLL, and has a very cute dog who I need to see soon. We are going to play the game. I love Jack the Cloister, very cute. Captain Murder, the Butterfree comes out, does what it knows best, clicks very accurate Sleep Powder and Stun Spore. Bulk up on the Machamp. This thing is a threat. Haze on the Weezing, which is not a move I see very often. When I use Weezing, especially in Gen 3, there's such a 4-move slot syndrome. It's like, you know, is it going to be... I feel like it's always going to be Will-O-Wisp Explosion, and then is it going to be Sludge Bomb Shadow Ball, Sludge Bomb Hidden Power Fight, Sludge Bomb, you know, is it going to be special? Is it going to be Fire Blast Hidden Power Grass to break through your kind of TSS cores? Very, very scary here. When you see a substitute on an Alakazam, you're going to know it's Focus Punch. You're going to know it's Focus Punch. So watching this replay, I knew it was going to happen, and I don't think Sheej knew it was going to happen. And it was very satisfying to see this bop, this Focus Punch Zam just annihilate that Tyranitar. So funny. Rock number 2. Very smart not clicking a Rock Slide when the Rock Resist was going to be in the back. I kind of want to know what this QQQQQQ means. Very smart Protect by Jack on the boom. Or on the potential Willow or something. Goes into Captain Murder because it's a little bit expendable at this point. Sunny Day to get rid of the Sandstorm. Pretty cool. Surf doing nothing because it is in the sun. Really tragic full para by that Cloister because the Zam would have been dead. Aerodactyl comes out, and now Zam has enough HP to come in on 2 layers of spikes again, and Hidden Power flying, I believe, again. Vaporeon, Costco, remember the Vaporeon. Hey, we're Costco guys, of course we eat a chicken bacon in our backyards with the coyotes or whatever. Alakazam comes out, threatens a... Whoa. That's really cool. I like that. I like that. So, new Butterfree was going to be rocking Sleep Powder. Switched into Hariyama to get Sleep Powdered. And set up spikes. And then used Sleep Talk Whirlwind to get a non-negative priority Whirlwind every time to be able to rack up the spikes damage. I think either Sheej is really smart, which he is. Sheej is very smart. Or somebody gave him a bit of knowledge that was forbidden. Like some like Ender portal level knowledge. Big Bonk the Snorlax comes out. Hariyama threatens a... Is it not? Okay, indeed it does have Rest. It's not just Sleep Talk Whirlwind. It's Cross Chop, Rest, Whirlwind, Sleep Talk. But it's still a decent threat. That's why we run Cross Chop over Brick Break. Because of the high critical hit ratio, it can break through things like your Snorlaxes, your Suicunes, and stuff of the world. So really, really great call there. Might have just been a copy-paste Smogon set, but definitely a good one. Doing a little bit of healing up from both members here. This Surf is not doing a whole lot to this Yama. Hariyama's not doing a lot to the Vaporeon either. Dusclops, Cloppy. The Dusclops comes out. I don't like the nickname Cloppy. That evokes things that I don't think are appropriate to say on YouTube. Flygon hits Earthquake. This thing hits Shadow Ball. They are damaging each other. Sparks are flying in this heated battle. Rest. Flygon. Protect Rest is really interesting. Protect Rest plus Edgequake here. But it's Slide Quake, I guess. But very interesting. This Yama is taking a bit of damage from something I noticed watching this replay. My brain is melting, folks. I'm so sorry. I have a stutter at the moment. Watching this replay back is that Jack would have had a better time taking down this Yama and this Dusclops if he didn't get rid of Sand. Zam might have been dead, but Flygon would be able to chip heal with leftovers, while Hariyama and Dusclops would not. And I think it might have been really nice if Sand was still up. I'm going to speed up this game a little bit because I think it's kind of reaching. It's like, oh god, who's gonna get a crit kind of phase? Who's gonna kind of, this Vaporeon has so much longevity. It's gonna be such a slog trying to take it out. How much PP does Surf have? I feel like it's possible Jack runs out of Surf PP by the end of this thing if Yama stays in the whole time. It's kind of rough there. Cross chop. 3 cross chops, Whirlwind. Only 2 cross chops left. I don't know if she's just getting really impatient. Nice. Getting the Alakazam. great rest turn. Cross chop. Yeah, Jack can't do much here while this cross chop is chopping away at his guys. I think he kind of gives up here. What the? What a weird switch. Shadow Bowl. A bolus of shadows. Shadow Bowl. Oh god, the wish is gonna heal him back up. Oh, never mind. Jack didn't want to drag it out any longer. I think he could have, though. Right? I think Vaporeon is faster than Yama and could get a crit surf. And or like an does this thing have Ice Beam? No, it don't. But probably could have 1v1'd potentially if he protected there. But understands when the battle is so uphill, doesn't want to undergo some Sisyphusian task. On to the next game. We have Donut852, Nolan, Nolbert, the Young God versus Applesauce Logan. Whenever I see the nickname Applesauce, I think of Maple Story, and that makes me want to play a MMORPG, even though I don't like MMORPGs. I love them for 20 minutes, then I go, okay, this sucks. Chicken Duck at the Doug Trio. I wanted. Hold on. What is Nola? What is Logan's team here? First of all, I would like to say that this is Dodrio, but we wrote Doduo, so I'm gonna make that very clear that it's Dodrio right now. Cadabra, Executor, Nita King. If it was a lead Salamence and Nolan led Doug, like it, I just don't. Lead Doug is so weird here. I don't know what it accomplishes. I think you're trying to trap Nidoking or Executor or Kadabra later, or even Medicham later, but like Dougie is really bad in Demence and Melodic, and Dodu is immune to the trapping. That like I don't know. I don't know. Wrong replay. Okay, here we go. Chicken Nugget. Already rooting for Nolan over Logan because he has nicknames. Dog of the Year reminds me of Girlfriend of the Year, GFOTY. Oh my god. That Thunderbolt just fucking one-shot that bull. That's why they're extinct or something, right? Or are they? No. That's like Buffalo. I'm being crazy. This got very out of hand very quickly. This Raikou. This really is the dog of the year. What does Jimothy Cool say? Every dog has his day. This dog's day is today. This is like Baby New Year dog or something. Thunderbolt on the Milo. Thunderbolt on the Kadabra. And Hidden Power Ice on the Eggy. That was rough. That was rough. I guess it didn't matter what he led because he had Raikou. GG's Nolan. Okay, we're gonna go on to the next replay here. Elite Four Giga versus Hef TV. Check out Hef TV's YouTube channel. He's a lot of Pikmin content, a lot of Pokemon content. He's a cool guy. Lead Sharpedo is interesting. I'm interested in. Where's Jim? What does Sharpedo do here? Okay, it does pretty good into like Banette, Solrock. It outspeeds Heracross question mark? I'm pretty sure it outspeeds Heracross. Maybe it has like um, hidden power flying or aerials or something. Ice beam for Dragonite. And like a physical move for Blissey. Or like HP fired or double edge or something. Could do some damage. Not a bad Pokemon for how cheap it is into this team at least. Because often like I feel like Banette is like a pretty decent lead between Insomnia for like your random hypnosises and stuff like that. Maybe on Espeon, like it would have been really good into Jax, like Butterfree for example. Any of the early sleep leads, Banette does really well into with Insomnia, and can click Will-O-Wisp to neuter the Metagross and Claydol. So Sharpedo being able to beat Banette might have been that kind of little mind game there potentially, or he just wanted to lead Sharpedo. I don't know. Regice is a really great special wall into these guys. Critical hit on the Magneton. This poor guy made of 3 nuts and bolts. Select-Berry, not leftovers, getting a Toxic off as a last resort, saying, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I might as well Toxic you, because that's what I got. Belligerent Blaster? Is it like belligerent? Or is that like an inside joke I'm not aware of? Probably an inside joke I'm not aware of. I like this nickname. One shot me, do it. Maybe that's the very early Zoomer, late millennial of me. Whoa. Whoa, we got something here. We got something here. Knock off the leftovers. You can now proceed to click Surf. Ice Beam this guy. You gotta click Hydro Pump. No, you gotta run Surf. You gotta run Surf. Okay. I would switch. Oh. Right wing Griff the Heracross is kind of hilarious. Oh, don't set up the rain. Now he's gonna hit you with a fighting move. Blissey comes out. Hydro Pump. Sharpedo. Misses. I'm not a fan of Hydro Pump in early generations. Now with like Power Creep and stuff, like Hydro Pump, like if you're really gonna kill stuff has like a million stats. But back then, I'm like, so much stuff goes down to like PP stalling and like I don't know, just there's a Blissey on that team. Just run Surf, man. That's me though. Don't listen to me. I'm bad at the game. I'm running Clamper all ladder. Don't listen to me. Seismic Toss takes out the Espeon stolen artifact. The Claydol. He does click some sort of stolen artifact. Some sort of British archaeologists went out and collected something from the Central or South Americas. Some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure plotline. Heracross basically always outspeeds Claydol here. Megahorn. That could have missed and that could have been scary. Psychic would have KO'd back or boom. Meteor Mash. Agility Gross. Whoa. Captain Arg. Agility Gross. I love Agility Gross. Megahorn comes out. This thing, unsure if it was Guts or Swarm. Swarm's pretty common in Gen 3 because you get under the Protect and hit the Select Berry, but it was leftovers, so. This could be... I don't remember who wins this game. This could be pretty rough for Jim here because he has a two fast guys potentially with not fast guys, but Sharpedo probably outspeeds Dragonite. Maybe I think it has 95 base speed. I think. Um, and it has Ice Beam. And I would reckon you run Explosion on Regice unless you don't. I forgot the Sharpedo was paralyzed. That changes things. Seismic Toss and another Seismic Toss and yep, or a Protect on the Boom. Okay. Well, folks, that was that. That was that. Here is our stand. We don't have a standings page. Here is our winners for the week. I have to do better. I am only at the top half. I only have a +1. I have to do better, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. I would love to put up more videos with more commentators, with more people. I want Cheese on here next week to go, Pikachu! I need it to happen. Yeah, remember, question of the day, Mario Kart World, ADV OU Pokemon. Doesn't have to be an OU Pokemon. Any Pokemon that you could potentially play in ADV OU. Alright, if you're rocking Jumpluff in ADV OU, tell me, do you think Jumpluff would look cool on a City Tripper? Alright. Good night.